Hi there, it's Thea Sullivan with an intuition update. How are you? Um, I wanted to talk today about the importance of not knowing. I think I may have posted a little bit about this in my Facebook group, but I just recently came upon an excerpt from the guides from, I want to say like 20 years ago. Some of you know I've been channeling the guides for about, well, since 93, so a long time. And I kept it under my hat for a long time. Didn't let anyone know. But I have tons and tons of material, and sometimes I'll just go back and look at some old stuff, and I'll find a gem, many gems, but also I will find something that the guides have said many, many times in slightly different ways. And this was an example of finding something that just really spoke to me now. And actually, it's something that probably took me a couple of decades to really live my way into. And here is what it says. Not knowing leaves space open for new knowing to enter in its proper time. Don't rush to anxiety or to trying to solve a problem. Be with the unknown and with the rare excitement of watching your life unfold before you. So I wanted to just share that with you and talk a little bit about the value of learning to be, as they say, with the unknown. So one of the things about learning to live a more intuitive life is the way that it requires us to let go. And you'll hear me use this phrase, listen and let go, a lot, because that's one of the first teachings, I guess, I got from the guides. They were really insistent about this with me, I think with all of us, but I think when they first came through, I had a pretty tight grip on my life and what I wanted it to look like and how I wanted it to proceed. And it really wasn't working for me very well to live that way. It was causing a lot of unhappiness, and it wasn't getting me where I needed to go or where I thought I needed to go. Actually, it was like I was sort of fighting the current of my life in a way. Um, but what I want to talk about today is that sense of surrender that living intuitively requires. And it's a gradual process. For me, it's been a very gradual process of letting go layer by layer by layer by layer. And in that letting go have been periods of a lot of unknowns, a lot of feeling like something needs to change, but I don't know how, and I don't know when, and I don't know what it's going to look like. And sometimes we need to, let go and leap without knowing if the net is going to appear. But even before the leaping, there can be just the time of not knowing. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm going next. I know my life needs to change, but I don't know how. This can be pretty unnerving to be in that kind of in-between space. My very wise mom calls it being in the hallway. It's like when you've left something in your life, even if you haven't fully left it, but you kind of know you're on your way out of a phase, a relationship, a job, a living situation, or even just a way of being, but you haven't found that new thing yet. And that's sort of being in the unknown, being in the hallway. The path is not clear. And I think it's a skill, the skill of waiting, trusting, letting our human selves be a little uncomfortable. And it's a really, really valuable skill. It reminds me of a line from a poem, actually, by Kay Ryan. Let me see if I can remember. It goes something like, it turns out in the end that patience has its own virtues. I'll put in the comments when I find that right quote. But I've got a few other quotes to share with you along these lines. Paul Selig, who channels and teaches and writes books of channeled material, his guides have said, not knowing is the beginning of knowing. And there's a guy named Michael Smith who does a lot of work with empaths. He has something called, I think it's called the Empath Training Program. But he talks about a prayer for people who worry or people who, you know, struggle with control. And the prayer is, I don't know, and I don't need to know. So I leave you with all of that. I leave you with the idea that it's okay. Not only is it okay to be in the not knowing, it's actually essential, because it means that our minds are letting go of control. It means that we're in really the chrysalis of transformation. So a friend of mine says, don't forget that when caterpillars, you know, form a chrysalis and they're going to be turning into a butterfly, they turn into mush. Like they actually have to get kind of totally deconstructed to be reformed back into, well, into their new form. And sometimes the not knowing can feel like being in the mush of the chrysalis. But, you know, our minds doubt that that's really what's happening. But, you know, on a deeper level, that's where intuition comes in, is we can really feel deeper, more deeply into the process and realize, oh no, this isn't a problem. This is transformation happening on its own time without my mind being in control. I can let go. I can be patient. I can almost come to enjoy the not knowing. Like the guides say, be with the unknown and with the rare excitement of watching your life unfold before you. Because when we let go of fear, when we surrender, it can be exciting to watch our lives unfold. We don't know what's going to happen, but that can be exciting rather than scary if we can develop that underlying layer of trust. And the last thing I'll say is, in my experience, the more comfortable I get in the not knowing, and then watch my life unfold, and then watch something beautiful come in, then it gets easier the next time to be with the unknowing, to be with the not knowing. Okay, so that's my little plug for getting comfortable with not knowing and trusting the process, and knowing that something bigger, meaning your soul's agenda, is at the wheel. All right. So you may be watching this on my Facebook group, The Intuitive Way with Thea and the Guides. If you're not, feel free to visit me there and join. Also, you may be watching it on my YouTube channel, Big Picture Guidance. And if not, you can subscribe to me there. You can also check out my website, bigpictureguidance.com. Thanks so much for watching, and lots of love. And don't forget to always listen to yourself first. Bye.